1, 2, 3.
As the first doses of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine roll out to the state's medical workers and nursing homes, all eyes are on who will get it next. And while it could take time, the hope is teachers will be on the high end of that list.
This will hopefully get our schools moving more towards in-person learning sooner.
Cheryl Bost is the head of the Maryland State Education Association, which has pushed back against in-person learning, citing the risk of exposure. When enough teachers get the vaccination, will you feel comfortable having most of the people involved, get back into the classroom?
As vaccines were released yesterday, and we're learning more and more each day, and we have more companies that are coming on board, we're in a learning state right now.
But while the union still has concerns, today, for the first time, the state says educators will be rolled into the second phase of vaccinations.
Educators and school staff are in a priority group that are in the second phase, and that's already an approved plan by the CDC.
But phase 2 also includes other critical and essential workers.
There's a lot of bandwidth and questions within the second tier.
Baltimore County Executive Johnny Olszewski is pushing for the state to put teachers at the front of the line when we hit phase 2.
Those are the questions we should be asking. I think those are the things as state and local leaders we should be pushing for, because again, we all want our kids to be back as soon as possible.
And with most students across the state not having been in a classroom since March, every day counts.
Officials urging everybody to make sure they have the basic things like food and essentials ahead of the storm.
But in many Baltimore communities, stocking up on the necessities isn't easy. Jeff Abel is live with an explanation. Jeff?
You know, there are many areas of this city where a supermarket is more than a mile away. And for those without transportation, there is a huge price to pay.
In East Baltimore, a holiday rush may be on, but many residents are going nowhere.
There's no supermarkets in the area.
Earlier today, the mayor urged residents to prepare for the approaching storm.
And we strongly encourage residents to take measures to prepare for the storm as well, ensuring that you have food and basic supplies that will be needed on hand.
But in East Baltimore, the nearest supermarket is not near at all.
The nearest supermarket is Boston Street?
All the way down. You got a building right here that's mainly senior citizens. They can't get down there.
This summer, the Save-A-Lot here on Caroline Street shut its doors, creating a food desert in this community. In fact, a Hopkins study recently found that citywide, about 1 in every 4 residents currently live in a food desert.
Like one day it was there, and the next day we came to go shopping and all the doors was shut. They didn't even give notice.
City leaders promised to work to replace the supermarket in the Oliver community. We called City Councilman Robert Stokes to check on progress, but have yet to hear back from him. For now, many residents are bracing for the storm and hoping someone can get them to the market.
We basically over here in Northeast Baltimore have no supermarket.
Well, studies have shown that those who do live in these food deserts often are saddled with poor health and poverty.
Well, the winter weather forcing Baltimore County schools to postpone laptop replacement tonight. The school system continues to recover from a pre-Thanksgiving ransomware attack. Amy Simpson is live tonight as we continue to push for some answers after the cyber intrusion. Amy?
Continued concerns over a lack of transparency with BCPS more than 3 weeks now after that attack, and we're still just waiting for basic answers about what happened.
Anyone who knows me in Baltimore County government, we are really leading to be an open, accessible, transparent government.
Baltimore County Executive Johnny Olszewski speaking to Fox 45 yesterday, addressing the ransomware attack that canceled class for several days. It's still unclear how long the recovery will take.
We remain committed to doing whatever we can, but we also need to make sure folks are being, supportive and partners in getting us through this.
It was late last week when the county executive and BCPS Superintendent Darrell Williams traded lengthy letters. Olszewski frustrated over lack of access and accusing BCPS of not cooperating with the criminal investigation.
Those were issues brought to me by our state partners of information technology and the cyber response team there. It was brought to me by my police chief. It was brought to me by the county attorney. And so I was just articulating the concerns that were brought to me.
The superintendent denied impeding the investigation. Today, we asked if BCPS is able to access any of its encrypted data. We also asked if BCPS has paid a ransom to the attackers. A spokesperson for the school system tells Fox 45 BCPS is making progress recovering, but can't say what data they have or have not been able to access. As for the ransom, the school system once again cites the ongoing criminal investigation, directing us to Baltimore County Police and the FBI. Even without answers, the county executive wants to keep the focus on the kids.
This is about supporting our children who are already hit hard with virtual learning and the pandemic. This cyber attack has only made things worse for our kids and our educators.
Mary, 2 times this week, we've asked for an interview with Superintendent Williams. We'd like to ask him directly about both the recovery and the ransom. In the summer of 2019, he vowed to be open and transparent on the job. Reporting live, Amy Simpson, Fox 45 News.